there that are going through the same thing. And if you're one of them, I hope to help your suffering. Just know it will get better, and these feelings do not stay the same. No, they don't stay the same. I don't wanna make you feel bad, but you kinda ruined my life. You hurt me and ruined my life. And I don't wanna make you feel bad, but you kinda ruined my life. You hurt me and ruined my I lost a couple friends on my way up. I took a couple L's, but that's just normal talk. I popped a couple pills, but they don't do much, and now
Hey there, Justice 3 Gaming, and welcome back to another daily dose of gaming with me, Justice. In the game right now is Marvel Strike Force, and it's time to talk about what's going on today in RTA, and where I go over the current bannings for RTA and show you the kind of group that I came up with that helped me get through my dailies and or my weeklies for the current team comps that are currently out there. So let's go ahead and get started with the band. My two favorites, the trait bands, which is Controller and Mystic, Baron Zemo, Phyla-Vell, Kestrel, Silver Surfer, and Gamora. Of course, Kestrel, Silver Surfer, and Gamora are three of the biggest ones you could possibly eliminate. And Controller Mystic really does set up for a really interesting theory craft behind what you can do. Now, I will tell you right away that I did have a ton of fun mixing around comps, and that's when you know you're having fun when you're trying to get through the dailies and they're not so impossible that you can mix things around and still accomplish your goals without any real stress of not being able to finish it up. And so here is the team that I actually ended up with right here. I did mix a lot around to try to get certain things to work correctly, like city groups and things like that. I did have Maria Hill and Captain Sam available, and one of the common things that I've been getting used to with the current bannings, because we got some powerful characters that are getting banned here, and that's important because you don't really want these landslide teams to really take over RTA, and then nobody's having any fun. Um, Couple of the common characters I've been using obviously is Shang-Chi and Shatterstar. Now I am strongly considering in my free spots where I could train up additional characters, taking Shatterstar up. They could only ban so many characters and traits in the game. And so I have been finding that between Shang-Chi and Shatterstar, I've been really utilizing one or the other or both a lot of the time. So I would consider them in RTA some high value characters, just like Emma Frost. Now, is Emma Frost available here? No, because I believe the controller status really takes her out of the running here. So remember, the most powerful feature in the game is speed or manipulating speed bar. So I went ahead and I really wanted to get the jump off on a lot of the teams that were out there. Shatterstar gives me a great jump on defense down across the board for multiple targets. I do have trouble getting them to stick pretty much because he is, in comparison to the rest of these guys, more underdeveloped. That does set me up to be in a kind of weird area of RTA where I can catch these squads that aren't quite ready for this kind of elite team comps in RTA, but it allows me to get a decent win percentage. I got a little bit over 91%, and I almost killed my entire weeklies with this team comp. But also remember to take into account that I'm having fun with the roster count that I have and mixing things around. I'm just trying to give you a few extra strategies that you might not know of already, along with maybe some team comps that you could possibly put together. Right now, currently, I feel as though Shatterstar and Shang-Chi are a couple of the more powerful choices here. Now, I am using Nick Fury because he's going to be giving off speed up to the whole team and hopefully beating some of the comps that are out there. Some of the competing ones that are happening are a similar comp to this one. A lot of people are taking Nick Fury out, putting Colleen in, and that sort of thing is working really, really well. Now, that one got me a ton of wins last night because she does have a massive amount of piercing happening, and I have Raider on her. So once that crit damage drops, it decimates an entire group. But does it beat a lot of comps out there that might be very similar in speed? Not really. So the most reliable comp so far has been this one right here. Obviously, I'm getting that great taunt from Captain Sam, plus his skirmisher is up to class 3 now, I believe, so he's going to be pulling off those double vulnerabilities, which doesn't help a huge amount here, because there's nothing that you can do to capitalize on that unless Captain Sam is going to try to take away some positive effects that wouldn't normally otherwise be taken down from an attack, and that's going to be it. Mostly, I'm here for I got him here for protection, to grab attention away from any of the key characters that I do want to pop up. Shatterstar is there. I'm actually I put him there without thinking last night. I think I'd rather have Maria Hill in the back there. I don't want Shang-Chi. He tends to get singled out. So I'm going to put Shatterstar on the opposite end, try to keep him far away from the action. He will get focused down because he's of lower power in comparison to the rest of the groups. Is he lower than... Yeah, he is. Alright, so if you guys have watched the show before, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take probably the next 20 minutes or so, and we're going to be playing with this team, maybe throwing a few in and outs into this team to see if we can counter any squads that are out there, and just generally have fun. Now, I do have a plan at the end of this show to do another video for Lady Deathstrike. Her update and her kit is up. I'm going to go over that, give you my thoughts on her traits and her kit and what could be coming up for the Weapon X team and Omega Red. If you're interested in that and you're watching this on YouTube, just scroll all the way to the end of this video because that's where that'll be. Today's flavor is Grape Raise Energy. I'd say grape bubblegum. A great sugar-free energy drink. This is an extremely great comp right here. I'm probably going to take an L because this long shot looks pretty powerful. Yeah, and I couldn't get that. I couldn't get that Shang-Chi off. This right here that Shu Longer is using right here. If you got these guys, absolutely use this comp right now. I can't because both my Shatterstar and Longshot aren't all that great. Oh, at level 84, 7 Red Star Shang-Chi. Good God. I had the credits for it. I will be doing that. That is a crit team if I ever saw one. Why crit on Yo-Yo, though? Probably just to increase the crit damage period. Maybe. I've never thought about trying to do that with her. She doesn't have anything in her kit that would manipulate crit other than the fact of having it. I will do a win-loss tally here on this squad. We'll try to get in like 10 fights. That was my first loss. That's a really good comp. Oh man, I'm facing another one. I got a couple good defense downs out there, and they got positive effects. It's whoever gets their Shang-Chi off first, pretty much. I think I have the sustain over them, though. I am going to go for the protection. I went for the AoE because I knew I could get that, and Shang-Chi's just dangerous no matter how much HP he has. You let him go, and it could be just like what just happened. Alright, that's a good one. I think everybody's pretty much settled into a pretty common comp right now with Shatterstar, Longshot, and Shang-Chi. I mean, that seems to be one of the best comps so far in the game so far in RTA. As you can see, though, I want to show you my my objectives. The new set, since today is Saturday, the new set dropped last night, and so I've already killed like all of my dailies and every single one of the weeklies except for this last one. But I'm having the most important part of that is I'm actually having fun doing it. You know, before they started doing the trait bans and stuff, it was like, oh my god, I got to get through this, you know, this objective right here, so I got to play like 150 more times to be able to just get those abilities out, and you know, you were scored based on how many times your characters would use it. You see, there's another one right there. The only reason why I'll even win this is because I got power. And I think I get the speed over him right away. Didn't I? Everybody got a speed up. He didn't. I'll have to pay attention next time. Ooh! Bender, you only need one more star to get that Omega Red, buddy. Good luck. I hope you're like this close. Let me know in the chat or in the comments if you do, or you are gonna get Omega Red. All right, that's 2. What do we got here? Not quite. You better pray that Doc Ock doesn't get that. Those heals up. That'd be instant death for this entire group. I would almost be, if I was trying to be a little more strategic about this, I would almost try to slow this team down just so I had those positives for Shang-Chi to boost his damage with. Oh man, don't wear out the time. Just go. I mean, if you're anything like me, he probably just threw a fit, like I would. And it's like, oh, and forget to click my way through to finish off the fight. And here is another one. And long shot really makes the difference here, because that's a kill shot after the defense down drops. I wish I had that available. I mean, I kind of do. I mean, I wonder where that would place me in terms of power and the fights I would take, though. I mean, Maria Hill's sustain, though, is like really high. Like, high enough to the point where I don't think I got a bigger advantage using her than I do long shot. There we go. Oh, man. Commander RC again. That is a really big sand. Good God. I'll give him a 10 count. He might be like me right now, trying to kill out his weeklies and stuff. I don't want to ruin his fun too much, but at the same time, it's a good challenge if that's what he's here for. I say he as in like the, you know, everybody. I don't care if he's a man or a woman.
Thousands of people are listening to this commercial about how easy it is to switch and save hundreds with Geico. What if we all whistled in unison? Would it be the first whistle heard in space? Worth a shot. 1, 2, 3. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
What we got here? No, I don't think they have it. The protection is a little bit too slow. Alright, brings it up to 6 fights, 4 more to go. Beast I usually worry about. With a bishop there, I just think the rest of the team, this middle squad right here, is not enough. They're just too slow. The Astonishing X-Men characters, all are extremely well-placed characters. Without Jubilee, not so much. Like all these guys, they're going to want to attack, but I can even take Sinister out right now. Revenger. I love that name, by the way. I'm telling you, they should do Revengers in this game. Just for literally the fun of it. Let them be an RTA specific team or some crap like that. You know, just so I have them in there called Revengers. Although, I would love to see, like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Not Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agents of Smash. That would be an awesome team to have. Full war offense. Ooh. Nope. With Dr. Octavius there, Doc Ock sets up, like, probably regeneration is the biggest weakness to any squad when Shang-Chi is involved in versus. And Doc Ock stacks like 3 right on them. That's going to be a bonus shot, bonus damage for Shang-Chi for every single one that's on there. I'm a little bit too fast to make that work, but like I'm gonna aim for Doc because his health is getting down there. Anti-Venom can potentially get dangerous. Alright, a couple more with this one, and we're going to start doing a part of the show where we mix it up. But you're going to find right away, though, without being able to counter that Shatterstar in Shang-Chi, that's extremely hard to do. And speed seems to be the great equalizer. On this round, unless that's all you have, I would stay away from using symbiotes. I mean, I feel like Shang-Chi just eats them alive. That's actually a really nice idea. I would use, like I did last night, use Moondragon. Mostly because she does have that great clear for any positive effects that are out on the field. Like some of the ones that we just fought would be great comps to fight with Moondragon involved in order to get those positives removed and survive the fight. Oh, here it is. Here, oh, that's a decent idea, having that taunt right away. I got 3 characters with positives on them. Let's see how well I weather this defense down. Shatterstar's not going to survive. But I just need that jump off. That's all I need. I would have gone for Shang-Chi, though. I mean, the guy is just an assassin. Like, I'm going to take him out, but I'm going to draw that taunt because now Maria Hill's going to be able to heal up everything.
You take advantage of rocketcam.com.
Licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
There we go. Out of 10 fights for today, that comp only lost once. And not only did they not lose, but it had to be that one really big, that first fight that we took in. You know, if you're like watching on stream right now, just scroll all the way to the beginning. That's the squad you want to use if, like, let's say your whole squad is balanced, built. You know, your kits are good, your red stars are, you know, 4 or 5. But mostly you just want to make sure that you have a balanced squad. And if you have that squad, that's the one you want to use to get through your dailies and your weeklies. That was an amazing group. You get that defense down right away, and you can use long shot to one-shot any key characters you need out of the way so that way you can finish the fight and get all 5 knockouts. After that, it's just a matter of Shang-Chi just wiping the board. He'll do that right after long shot, and you'll absolutely win every single time. It's probably the strongest comp in RTA. But, you know, I don't have a good long shot or Shatterstar, and I honestly don't have any plans to bring them up. And the only reason why mine are even where they are is because they're required for Adam Warlock. And, you know, I just got his last star, so I don't really need to improve them until I'm ready to start working on my war offense. And I'm basically a more of a defensive player than anything. And my time in defense building is going to get even longer now since they're adding 2 additional slots to Alliance War. And really that's to extend everybody's, you know, progress on their characters and more teams in the game. Because now we're getting to like what I call a saturation point, and it was bound to happen sooner or later, and now we've expanded those slots. That probably won't happen again through the lifetime of this game. Maybe one more time adding additional 2 slots, but not for a couple more years at least. Alright, so let's go in here and let's turn things around a bit. I am going to take... I'm going to put Shang-Chi in the back, but I want to try that long shot group. But I want to keep Sam because he's the strongest protector in the game right now. Plus, he's giving out that energy. And I forget where he sits. It's like he's around 100k. There he is. Okay. And then put Shang-Chi in the back right. Now, this would be what I consider the comp squad. If you guys have this and they're well built, this is the one you want to go with. But let's see what I can do with this group. I should be able to get enough speed to get the jump off. But there are a few strong counters out there to this comp if they were balanced enough that probably could take them out. Kits really matter in that respect. Like if you T4'd their kits, it could be game over. Like if I did that with those 2 right now, I would probably go a pretty good distance with this comp. Now, if there was a key character to take out, it would be Invisible Woman. That barrier can set up some pretty big failures. When you're dealing with Infinity Watch, I do need to say this. You want a minimum of 3. For the most part, they don't work very well together unless it's as a duo, unless it's Gamora and Nebula. So you want to stick to a rule of 3. What I was trying to avoid there was the big defense down and heals from Moondragon. That was pretty nice. Let's try that again. Maybe it set me up in an area of RTA where I can float with this team composition. I bet though, if I went the full 10, I'd probably lose with my current development with Longshot and Shatterstar, probably 4 times out of 10. But I keep coming up against like these squads for some reason. I wonder if they even work. There's no doubt in my mind, you know, that Black Bolt is an extremely powerful character. I'm gonna go for Sinister. That way I can get him taken out right away, and I don't gotta worry about the clone on any key characters. I tell you what, it's definitely a faster team. Faster winning team, I mean. Damn! They ate over 3 million in one turn and didn't even allow for a single damage point to be lost. I tell you what, man. That's enough to piss off the Pope. Don't mean to cuss. I've been working on my cussing. But I think that probably deserved it. I'm about to eat my own words here if I keep winning these. I mean, these wins are coming really fast. And it's only because I keep coming up against that comp with like Black Bolt and Doc Ock and things like that. A lot of people coming in right now with those characters. Here we go. This is more like it. This is probably... without Shang-Chi, I don't think they got it. Just enough to get rid of that defense down coming my way. Oops, Sam's gonna actually get to do something. Yeah, they're like swallowing millions per turn. Look, honestly, I think you need to take... I mean, that is a good decision. I'm not going to lie. This is not a bad group. If Shang-Chi wasn't in my group, that's an excellent squad. Alright, one more time with this group. We'll try one other mixer. Ooh, that's a good one. Oh, there's no, that could lead to some deaths. But with my defense up, I don't know. I guess it's going to depend on who gets to use their Shang-Chi first. And there he goes. Oh, well, how big is that Shang-Chi? Oh. Ooh, didn't redline Shatterstar though. Oh, he got my long shot. Yeah, kind of saw that one coming.
The sweet aromas of the apple fritter, cinnamon roll, and blueberry muffin. So making a reaching in your McDonald's.
It's a good. That's a solid Sam. Alright, let's play around a little bit. That defense down seems like a staple that has to stay. The same goes for this. These four seem to be the key players here in RTA today. Who could we add that might actually add a little bit extra to something? I'm not using a striker right now, so that's not really going to help me at all. Let's see what happens if we add Colleen into the mix. Ooh, that's a big one. Not even going to be close. All right, we'll try. We'll do 2 more fights with this comp, and then we're gonna talk Lady Deathstrike. And nope. Revenger's back. I got a different comp this time, Revenger. Oh, did he just quit? Man, can you imagine that Shang-Chi with a 7th red star? Ooh. Alright, that is going to be it. Let's get that one comp up that I originally had so you guys can view that one more time. I believe I put Shang-Chi in the middle to take up a lot of that damage that might be coming down the center. How about Maria Hill on the back corner? And then we have Shatterstar here. Now, I'll do one more explanation before we switch topics. So we got Shatterstar, defense down right away. Got to use that right away because you're planning on getting Shang-Chi to run the board with his ult. But you got to remember, Nick Fury is there to give speed up to everyone to hopefully get the jump off on turn 1. Maybe turn 2, but generally these guys are way faster than that. I do have Maria Hill because my Maria Hill is very strong, so it brings her sustain really high with a really nice defense down, one shot with her special. But more importantly, on the back end of things, she has a great big heal ready and waiting. Shatterstar does take an L here, but what's most important is his turn 1 defense down across the board because it'll allow Shang-Chi to just pretty much kill everything. Now, Sam, you got options with. Get that taunt off right away, get a defense up, protect your squad. However, you need extra speed. Well, he's going to be able to increase everybody's speed bar with his ult. So you do have choices there. And in general, and you saw it today, the fights will go pretty quickly. And hopefully those other variations that you saw might give you a few ideas of what you want to put in place instead of this current comp. Alright, so let's talk Lady Deathstrike. Now, I did make a great screen for you guys just so we can open up a conversation about updates that might be coming up to the game. So I shrunk myself down a little bit and displayed the updates for you guys in case you don't ever really want to go to their website. Well, you can watch my show, and I'll give you my thoughts on Lady Deathstrike and where these new characters I'm thinking about doing with as they come in. And for the most part, any new characters that come in, I will have thoughts on because I will most likely be using them. In general, they got more HP and more armor to be able to deal with. So in modes like War, the new characters, even if they're not going to be something like War specific, is still going to be pretty useful to you in Alliance War. I'm not an Alliance War specialist or anything. I just love this game in general. Alright, and I'm skipping everything because the only thing that concerns me is traits and kits. So right now, Lady Deathstrike, she is related into the storyline of Wolverine and the Weapon X program, or the Weapon program, I should say. And so she's the daughter of one of the main scientists there who basically swears revenge on taking down Wolverine, and there's many incarnations of that. I'm not going to go into all of that, okay? I love reading comic books as well, and that's one of the reasons why I got into the game in the first place. But we're just going to go over what I think about what's happening here in the kit and what I foresee happening for this character and the team she belongs to. We got Villain, Global, Tech, Brawler, Weapon X. Now, these characteristics right here are going to tell you how much value this character is going to have in the game. Now, in terms of raids, which you get most of your resources from, you want to consider that right away. So what do we have here in that respect? Well, we got Tech. I don't have a problem in Tech right now. I actually have a really strong squad right now for Tech, but any new character that is Tech related that I could put there is going to be a benefit to the team regardless. I will jump back into the game and show you where I will actually eventually put this character. But right there, right away, she's going to be a pretty big boon to my Tech team in Doom 1. Considering there aren't a lot of great Tech characters out there, but they all work really well in that section. I have a beginning section which seems to be like an easier portion of someone's lane when they first start out, and so it's different. I believe it's different in the other lanes. Alright, so globally, will I use this in any kind of global section of the game? I think I have an extremely strong global squad in Dark Dimension 4. I may experiment with her to see if she's going to give this, my global squad more damage to finish fights faster. I am now in the area where I'm having fun trying to figure out what's the best teams for the fastest win in Dark Dimension 4. And given that both her and the upcoming Omega Red are both going to be global, I could use both those characters in that section along with other major big characters like Captain America Sam and Maria Hill. So in this basic, we got she's going to transfer 1 deflect. You know, the biggest part here is actually, we're going to jump ahead just a slight bit, because what's the most important part of a character's kit right now isn't just the stuff that's in there. It's about what can they do right away, since her special is going to come fully charged, and not only that, economically it's actually pretty cheap. This is really going to be the main weapon this character is going to have, not the basic. The basic, my guess, is going to be has to do more with probably assists or counterattacks, but that's yet to be seen. And right here we got 2 turns before she's able to use this ultimate Adamantium Flurry. Now this can change, this beginning charge can change pretty dramatically, and that's all going to be based on who's giving what through their passive. Is a character going to be responsible for energy? Are they going to be responsible for adding speed bar? That can change a lot to this character's ultimate and when you want to use that. And since they decided to make this deadly weapon, we're gonna really try to dive into that and see what could possibly be the benefit to that in other areas of the game. Now, as a brawler, there's no advantage there yet. That's just gonna tell you what you're gonna need to save up for ISOs, most likely. Unless there's a passive that's going to be for villain brawlers, which I've been looking forward to. That's probably going to be, that's one trait that's probably going to be lost on this group. But the fact that Brawler is there determines gear and things like that, which I'm not too worried about. But that villain Brawler could mean something in the future. Alright, in the basic, we're going to, no, let's start with Deadly Weapon, because that's the one you're going to use most likely right away. Energy cost is 3 out of 3, offense up for 2 turns. Boom, right there. Attack primary target, adjacent targets for 200% piercing damage. Now, I would suspect Weapon X is probably going to be all piercing damage. Armor is going to mean nothing to this group. Attack primary, adjacent targets 200% piercing, apply 2 bleed, and reduce speed bar by 20%. That is a big chunk of speed bar, and anytime you're manipulating the speed bar, that's a big advantage right there. So I could tell right away, wow, that's to the primary and adjacent targets. I mean, that's a large chunk of characters that are going to lose speed bar right there. I can already see the advantage to her character in Doom 1 in the tech section right now. She's taking speed bar. Not only that, but that ability is also piercing. Now, on a kill, she's going to repeat this attack using a primary target randomly chosen from the previous secondary targets. The secondary attack can target stealth targets. And that's pretty cool. That's alright. I mean, the nature of Weapon X to begin with, this makes sense to their lore. On kill, increase the duration of positive effects on self and all Weapon X allies by 1, up to a maximum of 5. Now, given that she's giving herself offense up for 2 turns, whatever else is there is going to increase as well. And I know a little bit about Omega Red's kit, and a lot of that has to do with stealing health. More damage means more steals or more drains. That's a huge move right there. And considering that you got a duration increase for positive effects, you also have a speed bar reduction, okay? Giving herself 2 turns of offense up, and it only costs 3 energy. I mean, considering how powerful this move is right now, there might not be a character that's going to be dishing out energy. Because that would just make this ability just completely OP. But they could, because I do it pretty regularly with Shang-Chi. All right, we can consider basic as the second attack. So you always want to use this no matter what. But after that, this is what you're looking forward to right here. So transfer 1 deflect from the primary target to self. That's a control aspect of a character, meaning you gotta have choice. So if you decide to go for a defense, you're not going to have a choice of how this works, but you can go into a room that might be filled with deflects and be able to waste any team that's in it. So if you're an offensive player, that's a good move. Attack primary target for 250% piercing. That's pretty strong considering that it's piercing. If the primary target has bleed, repeat this attack, apply defense down. Oh, I mean, they're all like cutters on this team, so a bleed will definitely be there and they're going to get an offense down, and considering that Omega Red has that new trauma mechanic, it's going to stick. This attack gains 300% extra focus. Now the one that is concerning is the move that is causing the attack. Now, this is the thing that they don't do, is like someone else is responsible for doing the text on the community stuff here. I don't know who that is. I'm not going to pretend like I do. But when the character actually comes to the game, the wording matters a lot. And it's going to matter a lot to any strategy-based game, because that code has to stick together somewhere. And they've made, you know, mistakes here and there and corrected them. And one of the things that you have to know is anything that is a part of the original attack, like this is it right here. This is the code. Okay, 250% damage. It's going to take calculations, you know, from this character's base damage and move forward with that. Now, what's going to matter is the wording that comes with this or completely separate from this when the character comes and you actually are looking right at the screen. That's the one thing they're not doing here. And so you look for these key things: the word and, or the symbol plus. If it has an and or plus, that attack will be added to any counterattacks, assists, or vulnerability reactions. Okay, there's a little safety code in there that makes it so that you can't just do everything that's in a basics kit. It's just going to do what the original attack is, plus anything that's tacked on with the word and or the symbol plus. You look for those, that's what your character is going to do on every single counter or assist. And I doubt this part will be a part of that. 300 extra focus seems like a really controlled aspect. You got to have control of this character for that to benefit from this 300% right here. And it would seem like getting that bleed off right away, you know, without knowing what the base focus is for this character, you know, that's what it is. All right, let's move on to the ultimate, Adamantium Flurry. Now, this generally is going to be the really, really big one. So what are we getting here? Attack the primary target for 280% piercing. Apply 1 defense down up to a maximum of 2, plus apply 2 bleed. So once it hits the cap of 2, it's going to stop doing that, because there are some other things that are going to be causing defense down, like if there's a character that already has bleed, that kind of thing, adding that defense down, and it's going to stay there. And considering that Omega Red actually has trauma, which keeps negative statuses on the field, having limitations like that is going to be important. I bet you it was a nightmare to try to design these characters this way. Let's see here. Rebound chain, 4 adjacent targets for 280% piercing. Probably one. This is like the same as the original attack. And this is a chain. It's a rebound chain too. Rebound chain is really important, especially if you have control of your team. Depending on the groupings that you're getting on the field, you can actually direct a massive amount of damage to a localized area. And that could be a big move if you need to use it. Clear all negative effects from self and all Weapon X allies. She's a brawler? What? Clear all negative statuses from self and all Weapon X allies. Good God. That's pretty powerful. And at a 6 charge, that's reasonable. That's a reasonable charge. That's a big move, so it earns its status at least. Apply immunity to self and all Weapon X allies. That's pretty big. This is definitely a defense move right there. Once that triggers, you get immunity for the group that protects them and allows them to dish out negative statuses upon negative statuses. Stack it up, as I like to say. This attack cannot miss any target that has bleed, which pretty much everybody's probably going to have bleed. I mean, the second Weapon X is on the field, whether you're facing them offensively or defensively, you're going to have to expect right away that bleeds are a ticking time bomb. You're going down unless you can dish out enough damage to take these guys down, because those bleeds are going to stay, and they're going to do tons of damage per turn. So if you got a really fast team and you're using Weapon X as a defensive team, you're on a clock, man. And I don't mean the one that's up on the top left-hand corner. Per turn, you're going to be losing a ton of health. You better be ready. If this character has 3 or more Weapon X allies, this cannot be countered. That's actually a really powerful move defensively. I feel like this half right here was all for anyone thinking about using this team on defense. However, this one's pretty universal. This one's definitely a big defense move. Alright, the most important part of any character is going to be their passive. On turn, heal for 20% of this character's max health. Now, judging by what the pattern has been holding to for any new characters, 20% of this character's max health is going to be a decent amount of health. And this makes her even more valuable to me in the tech section of Doom. Having a character that can heal themselves allows for the rest of the team that you might be designing for your fight to have more damage, as opposed a more support characters. You can push another support character out, which I plan on doing, and adding this character in because they can take care of themselves. When this character drops below 60% health, gain 2 death proof and 2 evade. That is humongous. And considering that 60% health is actually a really high number to deal with on a trigger. So you're going to be seeing a lot of death proof, a lot of evade. That right there is going to be a huge move if you use this team on defense. Not that it won't be useful on offense, but think about fighting this character, and you got to deal with all those death proofs and evades, right? Gain 25% crit damage. Weapon X allies gain 25 crit damage. This one right here, this passive is telling. Having a character that only has crit damage available right now means that you're probably going to want to move in the direction of a Raider for ISO 8. Now, if this is a small indication and what I've seen for Omega Red's kit, you're probably looking at the game's first all-rating squad. There might be 1, possibly 2 characters that you'll want to have a striker with. But clearly this character needs a boost in crit chance. So, because at 25% crit damage, you're not going to be able to utilize that damage unless you have a little bit of a bonus with crit chance to begin with. It'll be nice when it does happen naturally with the character's kit. And if there's no significant increase to advantage on the field for going outside of a Raider choice here, I probably will go full Raider. Because, judging by Wolverine's kit, and even though I know Wolverine and Sabretooth are getting a little bit of a rework, they do have signs of being crit characters, and that's one of the reasons why prepping their ISO 8 so far, I started them off with a Class 5 Raider, and I just finished that up the other day, actually. And so having this increased crit damage is going to go a long ways. Lower resistance by 50% for all enemies with bleed. This is absolutely monstrous. Wow. What kind of bleed characters are tech? I don't think there is like a lot of bleed characters. Not that I can think of right away. I'm just thinking in terms of Doom 1, what would that mean? Lowers the resistance by 50%. That means stuff is going to stick. It also means, though, that you can scratch Skirmisher right off the list. You don't need it. Take it right off the list. And I would suspect, I mean, Wolverine, Sabretooth, pretty much anybody in the Weapon X program has some form of regeneration. So I would suspect the whole team is going to be like that. So you can probably scratch off Class 5 heal. Actually, if you're going defensive, a Class 5 heal for a character like Omega Red might be pretty huge. It might be damn near unkillable. In War Weapon X, allies gain 65% focus, which means every single bleed that goes out there is going to land. In War, gain 65% focus, yeah. So in War, gain 1000% resistance against bleed. So a mirror match here is not going to be easy if it comes down to that. So that right there is just kind of like a design counter to having that happen. Not that it wouldn't be a good thing to do, it's just if the whole team can't bleed, now you're dealing with speed and damage and who can do the most of it. That's pretty good. That's sort of like a check against mirror matches. Because you'll have teams like Infinity Watch where they're very exploitable in terms of a mirror match. You fight them with another Infinity Watch, you can almost beat teams that are 200,000 more powerful than you. And you could punch up really, really high that way. This kind of negates that a little bit, which also is telling that this team will be a heavy bleed team. I'm surprised we haven't seen a team like that sooner, considering there was a lot of people way at the beginning of the game that were designing teams that could bleed a lot, and it was really cool. And so now we got like those teams on crack. Well, there you have it for my thoughts on Lady Deathstrike. Her kit is extremely useful in and out of war as far as I'm concerned. She can self-heal, she's going to be causing a lot of bleeds, and her special has a speed bar reduction. So it makes her extremely useful in other modes like RTA, which is another big one. You could use this character very easily there because you're talking about a triangle of adjacency, if not more, of characters that are on the field that is going to take a 20% drop in speed bar. That could be a really big move depending on whoever's getting eliminated there. So very useful there. So that's two modes, obviously, that she's going to be useful in. And I'm strongly considering, I think she's a guaranteed placement for tech in Doom. That's good bleeds, it's all piercing, you got the speed bar reduction, she self-heals. Not only that, but she's giving herself a very cheap offense up for 2 whole turns. She could be offense up practically for an entire fight, and she'll bring that fight to a close pretty quickly. So I'm going to bring you back into fight screen here, and I'm going to bring up my characters to show you my tech team in raids. It's war, arena, raids. Okay, so I order them in the in the order of use, starting with Doom, and then everything else gets stacked underneath, and I just scroll through to see who I'm currently using. I generally will erase any Greek raids that show up because they just change each time, and I might have to rework things every little bit. But this is my current tech team. Now, I don't like Ghost in that she can get taken out very fast with RNG, and I don't like depending on RNG ever. But considering she has 7 red stars, she's a really good placement for counterattacks and speed bar reduction. Now, of all these characters here, the ones that cannot be removed, as far as I'm concerned, is Kestrel and Ultron. Ultron with 5 red stars is extremely powerful and a tech. So you're going to get the extra summons on top of that, which are going to synergize extremely well with Kestrel's passive. They're going to be able to take those hits. They'll be able to, utilize their bot kits, which are extremely useful. You can remove statuses, you can heal, you can even reduce speed bar for the enemy with, the bots with the little sword-looking lasers. I love those bots. And, they'll also trigger Kestrel's passive, and being she's an extremely strong character, she places defense down every single time. And, you'll be able to utilize that heavily. And Ghost is just, she's my random right now. However, I do provide energy to this team over a lengthy period of time, like on the boss node with Shuri. She's a great character to have. She's got a defense up that drops right away. Is it needed? Not really with this team, considering I got Doc Ock over here putting up the heals, and these characters kind of take care of themselves when it comes to healing their health, with Ghost doing that on her own right there. And then you've got the bots for Ultron providing the extra heals on top of that. So I don't really need it right now. And the regenerations that are dropping on the field are a little bit, they're just past the point where I find them more than enough. So having Shuri there just makes sure that happens. So I'm actually going to push her out. The only reason why that I'm pushing her out, though, is because of her HP count. Her HP max right now is of the older squad of characters, and that's not holding up very well in this new Doom section. Now, having a character like Lady Deathstrike take her spot adds to the speed bar reduction of this team. She self-heals, offense up, and is going to be adding piercing damage across the board while reducing speed bar with her special, which is going to happen quite often. And without seeing what her speed is, she's going to be a very useful member of this team. So, what do you guys think of Lady Deathstrike in today's show? Let me know in the chat right here whenever I'm online. But if you're a bigger fan of YouTube, head on over to the Justice 3 Strike Force. I post all these videos right there for you guys. Like that video, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications bell so you know when I'm uploading any new content. Like Today in RTA, which is a lot of everybody's favorite show right now. But also my thoughts on Lady Deathstrike, which should be posted up probably early as Monday. But Today in RTA, I'm going to cut that up right now. Make sure that gets to you hopefully early afternoon. Thank you again for dropping by. If you haven't done so already and you're brand new to my channel here on Twitch, hit me up at twitch.tv/Justice3Gaming and show your love by following the channel, coming over and saying hi whenever possible. I wish you all passion, love, and gaming, and never forget rule number 1 of gaming is you go where the fun is, and that's what I've done here today. So thank you again for dropping by, and I'll see you guys on the next show.